Hello everyone. Welcome back to another Commander review for Magic the Gathering. We're still in the Time Spiral set, and we're talking about Lim-Dul the Necromancer. Another expensive commander. This is a human wizard with a power and toughness 4/4 and a mana value of 7, 5 generic and 2 black mana. Lim-Dul has a triggered ability and an activated ability, but first, the triggered ability. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you may pay 1 and a black. If you do, return that card to the battlefield under your control. If it's a creature, it's a zombie in addition to its other creature types. And then for 1 and a black mana, you can regenerate target zombie. So reanimate your opponent's creatures when they die, and then be able to protect them from dying in future scenarios, and just essentially steal your opponent's graveyard one by one, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Definitely a lot of mana though, so bear that in mind. But you're a mono black, so you're going to be able to get giant bursts of black mana all the time. No card rulings for this commander. Very straightforward. Just bear in mind again, lots of mana is required to make this commander work. As a redundancy and maybe a backup plan, if you don't want to have to worry about paying that 2 mana every time, is simply using Grave Betrayal. It's essentially Lim-Dul on an enchantment. Almost to a T. Same 7 mana to play. However, whenever a creature you don't control dies, you automatically return it to the battlefield with an additional counter on it, and it is a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. So it makes it black if it wasn't black already, essentially, and it gives a counter. It's essentially Lim-Dul plus. Very cool card. Definitely should run this in your Lim-Dul decks, because then all you need Lim-Dul for is to regenerate the zombies that you're stealing. Oh, I hit my microphone. All you have to do is regenerate the zombies that you've stolen when they get removed from the battlefield, or attempted to get removed from the battlefield, which is really cool. And then a deck idea I chose to build around with this commander, which I don't remember if this is popularly built around with this commander. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But to me, it seemed like a fun, janky, niche build around for this commander, because you could spend the mana in a single turn to cast something like Soul Shatter, where you're going to force your opponents to sacrifice creatures. And then on that same turn, you're going to have to pay the extra mana to steal them with your commander. So you still want to run Edict effects, which is why I have Soul Shatter on here, because it gets rid of possibly multiple creatures on the board. If you're going up against 3 players and each of them have a creature, then that's going to get rid of 3 creatures for Lim-Dul to steal. So having Edict effects is still very powerful in this deck. However, if a turn prior you play something that has Death Touch, like Hooded Blightfang, and you kill something with Death Touch on the next turn, because you already paid the mana to put the creature in play, then the Death Touch you don't have to pay for. So that just leaves you extra mana to use Lim-Dul's effect when the Death Toucher death touches a creature. So this is a mono black Death Touch Edict deck. Anything that has Death Touch you want to put in this deck. Anything that's going to cause your opponents to sacrifice each a creature, or each sacrifice 2 creatures or something like that, you want to run in this deck. And then of course you want to have lots of mana, so you can use Lim-Dul's ability, or get that Grave Betrayal in play and just steal them automatically. Very fun. I don't know how well this deck would work, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. But that is going to do it for Lim-Dul the Necromancer. Very cool card, and very popular to build around. Theft style decks are very popular, especially in mono black. So if you go online, you're going to find lots of different deck ideas on EDH Rect or Tapped Out, whatever website you like to use. And that is why this commander has the rank of S. Very cool card. The thing I like most about it is it can give protection to your zombies, which a lot of zombie commanders don't have. because usually they want to benefit from your zombies dying, but this one actually wants you to keep your zombies alive, especially because they're not your zombies, they're zombies you stole from your opponents. Which kind of also leads to the other downside of this commander is you're playing a theft deck. You're going to be stealing your opponent's stuff. They might not like that. So be prepared to be the villain at the table, have protections beyond Lim-Dul himself, and have a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below if there's anything I missed or didn't talk about as far as deck ideas or synergies. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!